going on, everybody? Welcome back into another episode, and another week of the What the Fuck podcast. Took a week off last week, but I'm Nick. That's Gunk up there. Gunk, we are back, and we got stuff to talk about.
Yes, I had to take the week off because I was crying in my bed all week. It is finally over
It
for
is
our local.
over.
It is over for our locals, but it was pretty fun. I admit I was stressed. Game 3 gave me a slimmer of hope, but injuries, everything, it just wasn't going to happen. And good luck to Carolina. They played a hell of a series.
They did, and you get experience out of this run.
hmm
A lot of the young guys get a little bit of experience. It's just unfortunate that they lost the last game of the series, Game 5, the way they did.
Exactly.
To be up 3-0, blow it. The captain responds, and then almost immediately after, Carolina ties it again. There's nothing you can do with that.
No, I mean, like I said, it just after again, you go in 0-2. We talked about it on the last episode we had. It was going to be one of those. Game 3 was going to be really important. I emphasized that big time on our last podcast. Game 3 was going to be really important. And again, it came out. It was good game. Finally, they played a really, really good game in this one. Again, Carolina just relentless. Tie the game. Bring it to double overtime. And the unlikeliest person on the ice of that night, because, again, that was the 5 defenseman game when Kovacevic went out early in that game, and they played 5 defensemen for, those 4 and, about a quarter periods. And they worked their butts off. I mean, Jogan Siegenthaler, you got to, please, I don't care how great of a player he is, you got to give him he deserves to be on this team just for his heart and his determination to be on the ice for that long. After coming off a knee injury, which they didn't even expect him to play in this series if they got through the series. He played game 3. He played almost like 33 minutes in that game, and that's in that game. Ridiculous. And I wanted to shout him out specifically. And Brian Dumoulin, oh my God, I think if we go back to older podcasts, you could probably go back to the trading deadline podcast we did, and I was like, what are we doing? Why are we getting this guy?
Mm-hmm.
The dude came up aces, man. 37 minutes in that game. It was ridiculous.
But it seems like a lot of them, because I watched the third period and the overtimes. It almost seemed like after a certain point, Markey was the only one that wanted to try to keep the series going. The vibe that I got is that every Devils player that wasn't Markstrom just kind of wanted it to be over. Like, I think they felt.
For the more that I would think I would think more of that for the game 5 double overtime loss than the game 3.
Yeah, no, for sure.
If you watch the game 3 overtime, it was a total flip from the game 5 overtimes. I mean, the Devils came out and dominated that overtime in game 3, and they should have won the game earlier in the overtime. They got it to a second overtime, and like I said, Simone Nemec just put a move on those 3 defensemen and got the game winner. Heard the Rock like I've never heard it before. I mean, probably since the Rangers, the Henrique goal. I mean, I haven't heard that building that loud in that many years. Maybe the person we don't talk about's game 7 goal, that person. That was pretty loud too. But yeah, so it was pretty loud. And again, you come out, and this is the perfect scenario of my Devil season. You come after, emotional win. I was so excited. We were texting back and forth early that game. Remember, we were all like, we got this. We're ready to roll. Let's go. And it was a fantastic game. And now you're excited. You're 2-1. You got the game. You can hold court at home. Get it to 2-2. See what happens in game 5. And I got up early again. And another goddamn Sunday afternoon. I swear to God, the Sunday afternoon games kill. I told you that months ago, and it came back to haunt us. I wasn't even up for 20 minutes without even taking a sip of my cup of coffee, and we're down 1-0. 37 seconds into the game 4, and I went, this is ridiculous. And then it was just a beating after that. They take the 3-1 series, and now I'm at that point where I'm like, okay, all right, cool. All right, well, let's see if we can pull out, game 5. Let's play well. Let's do this. And then, as we talked about in a few minutes ago, came out 3-0. You get the excitement of going again. You're like, okay, let's bring it back to Jersey for Game 6. All these thoughts as a fan go through your head.
Yeah, it's let's bring it back and anything is possible.
And anything is possible, exactly. And
Let's
that's
get
where
back home.
where your fandom lies is exactly the way I was feeling for those 2 games. It's one of those. It was like, okay, we got a chance. Game 3 win. Uh-oh, shit. 37 seconds in, we're done. Game 5. All right, we got a chance. 3-0. Oh, we're blowing them out of the building, in their building. Fantastic. And then the second period happens. And I don't know if if poor Markstrom got kidnapped for a period and they put Vanacek back in. But that's what it felt like in that second period.
You got VTech back.
We got VTech. It was a VTech moment for him.
Ooh.
But again, go back. They must have found him in the third and the overtime because Markstrom, again, as we talked about a few minutes ago, Markstrom kept them in that game. And again, that game of 5 should not have gone to the second overtime. Carolina put 20 shots on him in an overtime, and he did not. And he made some spectacular. These weren't easy, relative easy saves. These were high quality chances in the slot. There was a couple times he was flipping. Again, give credit to Jacob Markstrom. Again, I feel like if the injuries don't happen and he goes on this run, this is a totally different thing. I mean, I hate to be the injury bug guy, but I really.
No, I mean it's fair because you lost the brothers. They both went down because you didn't start the playoffs with Jack. Luke went down in what, game 2, game 1?
In a shoulder injury, which again now we're hearing that Brat needs shoulder surgery. I mean, Luke I think he already had his shoulder. It was like, can we get a fitness and training guy in there to like work on these guys' shoulders or bulk these guys up? I mean, holy crap.
Yeah, I agree. But I mean, the funniest part about Game 5 to me is who started the comeback for Carolina with that first goal in the second period. Hart Trophy winner. Noted Hart Trophy winner Taylor Hall.
Exactly. And you see who came through in big time in this series again. Mr. Jordan Martinook. Killing my heart ever again. I told you, number 1, Connor McMichael. Number 2,
Jordan Martin.
Jordan Berry. Oh,
Jordan fucking Martin, baby.
Every time I saw him on the ice, I something was happening. I was dying. But anyway, right. But yeah, like I said, Markstrom kept them in that game 5. I was and you can see the frustration after he gives up the winner. I mean,
yeah, he almost kills one of his defensemen.
He almost killed Nemec. He literally, thank God he looked up because he would have murdered him.
And it would have been really funny that it was Nemec because that's the only reason why you guys didn't lose in 4.
Exactly.
Like he's the one guy that made sure you guys didn't like lose every game.
Exactly.
So for you to take out him, that'd be really funny.
For a 5-second moment of his life that he will cherish forever, scoring a game winner in an overtime
at home.
He almost ended his career. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, thank goodness Markstrom had some restraint and was paying attention because that would have been bad.
Oh, that would have been terrible. Oh.
But
like yes, going back. But again, for what it was turning into, again, they went from, again, if you go back earlier in the season, they really, and I got to give credit to Sheldon Keefe on this one, and I know a lot of people are not giving him credit because, again, another first-round exit from a playoff series. I feel like this is totally different circumstances than like the Toronto ones were. The
better team won this series. I will be honest.
Exactly. And I have to be honest. Yes. I mean, I even picked them, when we did our little, picks of the first round, couple episodes ago. I didn't think the Devils were winning. I wanted to win, but I just couldn't see it. And basically what happened was I got one less game. I figured it would go 6. And like I said, just the injury bug just really killed them. I mean, everybody on the defense was hurt. I mean, like I said, you don't have Jack already. Like I said, Brat was apparently dealing with something. Nico Heischer's God has got to be one of the best captains in the NHL right now. I mean, the way he willed this team to even try to get back in the series is amazing. I don't want to hear no more about the Timo Meyer hate from the Devils fans. I mean, this guy stepped up big time in this series. He was physical. He was out there. He was scoring. Yeah, there was a couple of times where he missed the net on big time things, but Timo Meyer, great series for what it was. I mean, I don't want to hear the hating about him no more. I don't like it. I think he's going to be a big contributor in the next couple years to come. Brett Pesce was phenomenal signing this year. Between him and getting Markstrom on our acquisitions from this year, those two were the best. Brett Pesce put his heart and soul into that games. I mean, he was out there. He was blocking shots. He was getting in. I mean, and he was just on this team last year. He was just on this Carolina team last year, so he knows what they know about how to win, and he took it to him really hard. And I got to give him credit. And like I said, it's unfortunately, like I said, it was the injuries and everything got us going. It didn't stop. I mean, that was my point going back to Sheldon Keefe was. I mean, if you watch the games when the season started, they were a fast up and down team going on the rush all the time. And they really developed into almost, if you watch those games in the playoffs, they were a dump and chase. They were in dump and chase mode most of the game. They were dumping, they were chasing, they were trying to out physical them. And I think that's where they got into the problem of they just couldn't out physical them with all the injuries. They couldn't out physical the Hurricanes, and the Hurricanes took advantage, and they're on to play the Washington Capitals.
Yes, they are, and they already lead that series 1-0.
Yep.
I want to look at our brackets real quick because I have them up.
Yeah, oh god.
We were almost perfect, Gunk. Almost perfect. Man. We did better than PK Subban.
Hey, that's pretty.
Hey. I think his bracket was like 3 for 8 or like 4 for 8.
Even though I watch that segment, I also feel like he also puts his emotions into stuff,
Yeah, it's not enjoyable. I'll be honest, it's not. But
besides the Devil series, I mean, what a phenomenal first round. I mean, especially the endings of the first round this year. Oh my god! And
yeah,
the beginning of the second round so far have been really fantastic.
Like we talked.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we talked about we thought Winnipeg and St. Louis was gonna go 4 or 5.
Oh, absolutely.
For that to get pushed to, I mean, I tried saying we weren't gonna buy into the whole playoff Hellebuck thing. It almost crept through again.
It was 1.3 seconds away from actually happening. I mean, really.
Yeah, that was almost a blow up Winnipeg ending of a game. I think there could have easily been I don't think there'd be riots in Winnipeg, but you don't know.
There would have been a lot of cars flipping. I could tell you that.
Yeah, there would have been something happening.
They would have been going crazy. Ugh.
And then we both had Colorado, and that's where our first round pick falters.
Yes, but again, another great series. Went 7. Mikko ran and really took it to his old team.
Back-to-back games with a hat trick.
Back-to-back games with a hat trick. I mean, again, took over that third period of Game 7 from them and literally just took the heart out of them. I mean, if this wasn't worth the payment that he's going to get in the next couple years, I mean, shit. I mean, I you know what I mean? And then Edmonton coming back. I mean, they looked like they were down in the dumps again. And they were down 2-0 to the Kings, and you thought this was the Kings' year, and then all of a sudden,
it's never the Kings' year.
No,
it's never the Kings' year.
It's never the case.
But this is where I kind of have a problem now with Edmonton and Los Angeles playing each other again in the first round. If we see them again like this next year, when do you think the idea of maybe changing the playoff format comes back? Because 5 straight years of the same 2 teams playing each other gets old. Because
okay, go ahead.
This should be a second round series. This should be a second round series that you see where you're now getting ready to really see best on best. I don't like this wild card seeding. I feel like 1 to 8 is still just better. But after how many times of seeing the same matchup, are you going to say that this is fine and that nothing needs to be revised in some way? Like, 4 straight years of the same series and the same result every time. Because LA hasn't beaten Edmonton. I
No.
can understand if this has been an even split, like the last 4 years. It's 2-2. Each team has won a series twice. It's 4-0 Edmonton. You've rolled through. I'm not sure if it's just the teams need to get better to contend for the top spots, or if other teams that are below the playoff line need to get better to try to take those spots from these other teams. But at what point does the parity run dry and all teams are the same and nobody can get the spots? As good of a series as it felt like another rerun. And it's exciting. Vegas and Edmonton is going to be an exciting series. We see it again. We've seen Vegas and Edmonton all the time. We see Dallas and, I mean, we don't really see Winnipeg, but we could have seen Dallas and St. Louis again at some point. Like the Battle of Florida. We've gotten that a bunch of times. The only reason why the Metro is different is because the Rangers got knocked out and the Habs were there and the Devils bounced back. So you wouldn't, and even if the Rangers made the playoffs, probably would have been playing Washington. So there's another repeat series. I mean, granted, the roles are reversed now, but the only real unique matchup here, or matchups, is Washington, Montreal, Toronto, Ottawa, and that's just because they're the wild card teams that nobody expected.
Right.
I mean, let's look at the 1 through 8.
Even Toronto and Ottawa want to kind of cancel each other out just because they're rivals. They're in the same division anyway. So it's one on top of the other. It's only was good really because Ottawa hadn't been in it for a while, so it was nice to see a fresher team get in. But
yeah, but
again,
just think of this:
they're natural rivals, though.
If we bring back 1 to 8, you still get Washington, Montreal, but then you get Toronto, New Jersey.
Which would have been very interesting, especially with the Sheldon Keith story. That would have been really interesting. I mean, I can see your point there. Absolutely.
Tampa Bay, Ottawa, which would have been Toronto, Ottawa was a fantastic series, but I feel like Tampa Bay, Ottawa is less lopsided. And then you get Carolina, Florida, which would be a fantastic series. I feel like you see a better divisional mix. I don't like it being you have one team from one division, one team from the other, flip it and reverse it on the other conference, and then there we go. We have one team pretty much from each division. This is the best team now. And it's just like, no. I just feel like I feel like 1 through 8 is a more balanced scale, and people can tell me if I'm wrong, because it's personally my opinion that I'm talking about, but I just think with what the playoff matchups have been recently and the repetition of it all, you got to start looking at different formats. I think you don't have to worry about changing the game formats, just the way the seeding works.
Right.
Because like the wild card isn't really a game-changing idea for me. Like, it was cool, but it felt like more of an excuse for division realignment. Like, you needed a reason to move teams around and start setting up for expansion at some point in the future, because you knew you were going to have more teams. This isn't just something that happens overnight. You had an idea that you wanted more teams in the future.
Right.
But you have to have some excuse to do that without just saying, hey, we're planning for down the road. We're planning on having more teams, so we're just switching shit up. No, it's just, okay, after a certain point with so many teams, you kind of need a wild card because the top three divisional winners isn't gonna make up for it. So
Right.
that's kind of what you just see. But I mean, I think the NHL should consider it, but I don't think it's the worst thing in the world.
Right.
It's just a matter of how many times can you see the same series before it's just old.
Well, I was gonna go see. I was gonna totally disagree with you on that until you explained it a little more, and I can see your point. But see, I think the NHL right now likes the idea of the rivalries. I think that's what they're feeding a lot of
But they're
is
not
rivalries.
building any rivalries, and the good teams that have rivals like that generally aren't even that good right now. Like, you got the rivalry series in 2022 with the Rangers and Devils.
Right.
You were damn sure not getting that this year. You weren't getting anything Rangers Islanders. You weren't getting anything Rangers Devils. You weren't getting anything Devils Islanders or even Devils Flyers or anything or any combination of the two.
Right.
So you're not even getting that rivalry aspect because Winnipeg and St. Louis aren't. You can make the argument for Dallas, Colorado. Vegas and Minnesota aren't. And Edmonton and LA are just by proxy because they've played each other for the last 4 years.
Right.
You get it with the East with the Atlantic teams, with Toronto and Ottawa and Tampa Bay and Florida. Washington and Montreal, not really. And then maybe a budding one between Carolina and the Devils. That I can maybe get behind if the series were more competitive.
Right. And that goes to the fact of, if you think about it, Carolina has beaten us in the last, 4 or 5 times in the playoffs. Yeah. So that, I mean, stretched out over a longer period of time doesn't seem as close as, like I said, 4 straight years in a row. So yeah, I mean, you still have the rivalry with, with Edmonton and LA. You still have the rivalry, but it's just not, I mean, it's competitive, but it's, you mostly know where it's going to go.
Yeah, but it's competitive for games 1 and 2.
Right. Exactly.
And I feel like that's my problem.
And I said I do like the 1-8 concept. I feel like yes, it would expand the actually it would probably bring more rivals in because like I said they would make new rivalries. Maybe a Toronto and New Jersey go all out because hey, they both know each other. They know the coach. They know maybe it would have been a little better series. I can't see it, but either which way, like I said, I just feel like. Either which way they go with this, just do not bring in the play-in. See, I like this.
Oh God, no!
But I also,
like how basketball does it.
Yeah.
No.
Please do not. No. I do not like the play-in concept at all. I feel like if your team's gonna make a playoffs,
you gotta earn it.
You gotta earn a playoff spot. You just can't be a 10 seed in a 13 division or 14 division conference or. And a 14 player team conference and stuff. So
you want to know something that I love? I love looking at all these different playoff formats like that you could have done instead of the NHL's wild card thing, and just looking and being like, "Damn, the Rangers wouldn't have made any of them." It's just like, damn, like, because even if the league expanded more, like, say this year, like this past season, the NHL managed to add a whole bunch of teams, and you started doing 1 through 10. The Rangers are 11th. Oh, that's amazing.
That's why we'll get to the story we will get to in a few minutes. So
we will
we'll talk about that.
But to quick wrap up the playoffs for everything, I want to talk real quick, and I'm not sure if you saw it.
Okay.
The little one of these to Anthony Stolarz, the little chicken wing.
Yeah.
So I want to talk real quick, and I want to say that if you're on Instagram and have not played a lick of organized hockey in any particular way, you are not allowed to constitute if something is soft or not. And also getting hit right here with an elbow while wearing a mask hurts a lot and can definitely concuss you because the back of the head is very fragile. But, he's soft for coming out of the game and throwing up on the bench.
I- First of all,
Like
how do you call
I sound like
anybody?
I should be admitted for saying that. It sounds weird.
It's so weird because again, these are professional athletes. I don't care if you're Ovechkin or you're you know a guy from the AHL. I mean, you are professional athletes. You train your bodies. You can't take a shot like that, and especially in a mask. As a former football player, you can't take a hit like that to the back of your head and I mean, last night I fucking bumped my head like literally on like a little pole, like just clunk, and my head was pounding for like 8 hours. So don't get me wrong, a professional, let's just say 6 foot or average 6 foot two guy, weighing about 200 pounds, throws an elbow to the back of your head, which you have no chance to react to. You didn't know it was coming. Plus, you have hard plastic in the back of your head that's
And
smushing
not to
inside
mention,
your brain.
earlier in the night, he got a puck that rang off his mask. That
Right.
rattles the fuck out of you.
Oh, fuck
That
yeah.
cling is loud and your ears ring.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. I mean,
So
who hasn't played street hockey and just experienced one of? I mean, shit, we used to mess around in like 18, 19 years old and just sit there and just hit pucks at because we had just bought a mask because it was oh my god, it was $20 at God, what was the old store? Not Dick's, the Models, like Models, like
oh
ooh, they had street hockey goalie mask for $20. Ooh, could I get this? Could I? Yes, get it. And you just sit there and flick pucks at trying to hit this mask thing. So if it's happening in street hockey and you're like after you get on you take the helmet off and you're like, oh my god,
yeah.
these are professionals. I mean, shit.
You're you're talking to a street hockey goalie. I understand. I
Exactly.
play.
That's why I knew you'd get that totally.
I play.
So
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's why
he
I'm
knows.
speaking from experience here. That shit rattles you. It is loud. I mean, granted, back when I played, I already had ringing in my ear, kind of, but it made it worse. It made it so much worse. But my whole
Absolutely.
thing on that is to say that he's soft for this and that the league's gone soft. Fuck you. You are softer than baby shit if that's your thought.
Fucking trash. Absolute trash.
Yeah, like
It's a crash.
because I said it yesterday while I was talking about this too. You think it's that soft? Go suit up, E-Bug. Get on in there.
Yeah,
If it's really
absolutely.
that soft, let's throw another softy onto whoever's playing in net. It would let's throw one on Wool. When Matt Murray comes in, let's throw one on him. Let's get the guy that's claiming this is soft on in there.
Exactly.
Boys, let him have it. I don't even care if Toronto was shooting on him. Let him fucking have it.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. Like I said, you just don't understand. I mean, yes, we all go through our phases with our players of, oh, he's not just not playing well, he's not doing this, he's not doing that. They said you can't judge like that. I'm sorry. I mean,
No.
you can't judge it. Like, I mean, you can't. I'm sorry. And if and again for something like that, if you do, you're just trash. I mean, shit. Like I said, I know. Again, I follow many Devils Facebook groups, and they're always like, "Oh, this one's soft. This one can't." Stop. There's a reason that these people are at the top of their level. There's a reason. Even like I said, from player 1 to player 25 on the roster, there's a reason they're there, and there's got to be a shed of toughness in them. I mean, shed of it. And if
Mm-hmm.
there is, then you can't say jack about it, especially being just a fan. And I don't get these fans with their ridiculous takes on stupid. I mean, I'm not, and it's not even hockey; it's every sport. I mean, it's so stupid sometimes.
It's because people watch every game and you get a better vantage point of everything going on the court, the ice, the field, what have you. And you've probably been watching your whole life, so these guys think think that they know how to play any of these sports legitimately. When yeah, cool, you're good at Madden, you're good at MLB The Show, you're good at 2K.
Right.
Put a set of pads on, and I can guarantee you probably look like an octopus in a washing machine.
Mm-hmm.
So I
That's like the wrestling fans. Like, oh, like this wrestler saw. Oh, he's just. You go in there and do what they do. I mean, come on
mm-hmm.
now.
Yeah,
In all seriousness, I mean, it's the exact same scenario. I mean, and I've watched many videos about how this guy is soft. It's ridiculous and it's
yeah.
stupid and there's no place in it. I mean, just respect the athletes for who they are. Love them up.
And
You think they had a bad game,
not for
you
nothing,
criticize them for that bad game.
they're athletes. They're the same as what we are.
Absolutely.
We're people. We're human beings. He got hit in the head and hurt. You don't want to see people get hurt necessarily unless you're a monster.
Right.
So to do that and everything is just ridiculous.
I agree totally. So 100%. It's just not. It shouldn't be part of the game. If you want to criticize the person for having a bad game, fine. If you want, don't ever question their resolve and what level of toughness they are, or what they could take physically to their bodies. I mean, you hear so many stories about the emotional side of the game. These players, they all have, especially nowadays, they all have Instagrams, they all have, social medias, and they don't think they hear this stuff. Of course they do. And you just don't want the mental part going into the physical part, to mess up with their minds, that mess up with their bodies and stuff. So I find it to be ridiculous. I said, just enjoy the athletes for what they are. Enjoy your team, cheer for them, boo them, whatever you want to do. Just don't question, their commitment and all that stuff, because that, I find it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, I agree. It's really just a matter of, guys, just do better, please. Like, just
Absolutely.
recognize what they're doing and do better. But the Rangers are trying to do better now, and they're doing
Yes.
that with a coach. As we talked about, they fired Laviolette, brought in their next guy. Yeah, sure, cool.
And it's off the market for less than a day.
Yeah,
He did what the Devils did last year. Then as soon as Sheldon Keefe got fired, I think they hired him like 2 days later. So,
yeah, I I don't want to say whether this is good or not until maybe November, because
understandable.
his press conference is happening right now while when we started. His view on the Rangers roster: I've grown a ton of respect for the players that are in that room. The opportunity to work with a group like that certainly excites me. You had Kreider before. Mike Sullivan: talent doesn't win championships. Teams win championships. Cool, whatever. And it seems like that is some of the only real quotes that we have so far. But oh no, here's just saying that he was appreciative for the time that he had in Pittsburgh and everything to work with the players. Yeah, it's Mike Sullivan. I feel like you kind of have an idea of what you're getting from him.
Right.
Cool. He'll probably be gone in another 2-3 years anyway.
We make one good run this year, another losing season, and be out the door again. So
Yep,
that's what it seems like the Rangers have been doing for the last 5-6 years.
So rinse repeat, nothing changes, but they picked 12th. They picked 12th, and did you see how they could have picked first?
Yes. I loved your Instagram post about that. If you love hockey and love to see funny ass friggin' memes that he puts up, follow him.
I'll put my stuff up. I'll put my stuff up.
At Nick D'Amico Ferry puts up the best hockey stuff ever. And the killer part is, I thought of that when the Islanders won the lottery draft the other day. I literally went, I wonder if they beat the Rangers once this year, I wonder if the Rangers would have flipped and the Rangers would have got that pick. And sure enough, the hockey guru himself, Nick D'Amico Ferry, had put it right up in there. I was like, oh, I will bring this up. Yes, sir.
Yep.
One win.
The Rangers needed to lose one time in regulation to get the first overall pick. Not that it would have mattered this year. This draft is kind of bad. But I was saying months ago that it could have happened. I was damn straight on it. I'm the orchestrator of it all. I'm the one holding the puppet.
Master.
I'm doing
Although I did find a fun factor today.
Oh.
The 3 of the 4 hockey teams in this area have jumped the highest amount of picks since the NHL draft lottery has started, Chicago is number one, and then I think it was the Rangers, the Devils, and then the Islanders have jumped up the most spots in the NHL hockey the lottery draft. Which again, we know from the Rangers getting the number one pick a few times. We've gotten the number one pick a few times with Nico and Jack. The Rangers picked it up with Lafreniere. So, and now it's the Islanders' turn. So, how do you feel about that going forward with the Islanders picking number one?
I mean, good for them, because I feel like the team needs something.
Exactly.
The team has no life. The team has no identity. You got rid of Lou. Finally.
Yes.
He could just. I hope no NHL team ever calls him again. Just
the only team that will call him it will be next year for Ring of Honor night. They'll get a call from all the Devils alumni.
Yeah.
Saying that you're going to be put into the Ring of Honor up at the Prudential Center. He will be, I guarantee right now, I'm going to put this down, May 8th. He will be called next year to be part of the Ring of Honor for the Devils. So get ready for that, Devils fans, next year around probably January, around my birthday-ish, January 20th, 21st, 20th. Whenever they do the Ring of Honor, then I guarantee Lou Amarillo will be in the New Jersey Ring of Honor next year. That's my big prediction for the year. So,
all right, gang, write that down, jot it down, keep it in mind for next year. Place your bets. But yeah, unfortunately for them, it's a good thing for the team. They need something. I think their last first overall pick was Rick DiPietro, and we saw how well that went for them. So yeah, I mean, pick 12 for the Rangers, cool. Yeah, they have a chance to draft this kid with the last name McQueen. So
I saw that. Yeah,
I'm there for that. I mean, like Ka-chow all the way, but that's about it. I mean, I think it's going to be interesting to see how this offseason goes now that both of our teams have started theirs, and we're going to keep following from there.
Yeah, absolutely.
But gang, I think that'll do it for this episode. I think we got to wrap it up here. This has been another episode and another week of the What the Puck podcast. Thank you for letting us take a week off last week. We both really appreciated it. We needed it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've been Nick down here. That's been Gunk up there. Gunk, I love you. Gang, we love you. We will catch you all next week.
Real quick. Thank you, everyone, for a wonderful NHL season. All of our watchers, our followers, anybody that follows and watches us, once, twice, 3 times, all the time, whatever. Just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. 2 years ago, we thought of this weird concept that we would just come on and just talk sports and, talk hockey, talk, the way we talk at home. And, season 2 is over for us. I think we had a pretty good year this year. I think we've improved a lot and stuff on the horizon. Both teams, I know the Devils are getting, I'm saying 2027 is their breakout year. Next year is going to be kind of a trial year. I think 27's their year to really make an impact. Rangers always in the conversation for anything.
We'll be back. We'll be back.
But I just wanted to thank all you fans out there. Thank you for listening, downloads. Thank you for everything. And, we'll pick it up, in another week or so. And, maybe we'll have a little preview, see what's out there, see, free agents, stuff like that. Draft coming up. There's hockey just doesn't end in New Jersey and New York.
Yep, we are not going away, gang. We will still be here throughout most of the summer. We will see you guys throughout free agency, but we will probably take a break for most of the second round. We will probably come back to do a third round recap, and again with the beginning of the Cup final, and then once the Cup is awarded. But yeah, we got that. We got the rest of the playoffs, free agency, heading into next season. We will figure everything out as we go from there. But as Gunk said, and I will share the same sentiment, thank you guys for everything, all the support, love, reaching out, whatever it is. We love yous. We appreciate yous. We can't wait to see what season 3 brings for everybody. But we'll worry about that when season 3 rolls around, because season 2 is still rolling. So with that, thank you all. Keep it easy, keep it breezy, keep it beautiful. Hockey, baby.
Hockey.
Hockey.